We'll be taking a look at endemic corruption in the country and how to police the public service. And we have in the studio Dr. Tanko Ahmed. He's a fellow of the National War College and senior fellow Security and Strategic Studies at NIP School. Dr. Ahmed is also the MD and the consult and visiting senior lecturer at Bez University here in Abuja. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Hamza.
Yes, and happy birthday, because you marked your 70th anniversary a few days ago.
2 weeks ago, yes. I turned 70.
You look 50.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
You're right.
Yes.
Yes, policing the government. We specifically brought you because of your vast experience and where you are teaching and your fellowships and all that. As we speak, you know, Beta Edu, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, who has been suspended, is in the custody of EFCs.
Yeah.
Yes, and former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, she's also facing this thing. You know, the executive directors of some agencies, you know, have been suspended by the president.
Yeah.
Where are we getting it wrong?
Well, I will start by saying that all these things that are happening from the outside, if we observe, government has turned itself into, it is doing more police work than governance. You can imagine suddenly everybody in government is breaking the rule, not only stealing. Let me take you back to episodes in the First Republic. From manuscript of Dr. Olulayo, we got to know that even the then Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, there was a time he complained to Olulayo and other officials there in his own office that everybody in government, a lot of people in government are thieves.
This was in the 60s?
Yeah, yes. And he said, if I can collect part of the scripts, even if I am to take over the department and be in charge, they will still steal. And there is another moment where some other people are reported. From then, there were divisions. If you want to punish somebody from the south, you have to get another person that commit an offense from the north, punish them together, so that people will say that you are not taking sides.
Then is history repeating itself now?
It is not repeating itself. It is continually happening day in, day out.
Because many people are saying President Tinubu only suspended Beta Edu because of the outcry following the suspension of Halima Shehu, you know, the head of the National Social Investment Program. Could that be correct?
Yeah, we have seen it in the news. And offenses committed by public officers that are being removed are just more than just stealing money. You are talking about 2 corrupt cases. What about the CEOs of other agencies which were declared misfit and then they were sacked? I will take you down to the civil service rule. You know, you remember the civil service rule? I'm saying you remember the civil service rule because people don't even talk about it anymore. But that is the basis by which government officials are instructed and guided and also protected to deliver their services. This civil service rule, that is the first thing you are giving if you are employed in government as an admin officer.
That's grade level X.
Yeah, well, even diploma. So in short, as an admin officer, you should know a lot about the civil service rule. That is what is going to guide you. But this thing has been abandoned, I think, when people discovered that from 1988, when they reviewed the civil service rule and it was not implemented properly, people believe that they can change the rules.
Was that the time when the powers of permanent secretaries was actually reduced?
Well, all these powers of permanent secretaries, powers of directors and other things, the rule worked, not working now, worked in such a way that a junior officer can check the exercise of a senior officer.
Those days?
Oh, Yes, even today, if you are going to stick and do your job in the office, for example, now these ministers, civil servants who are to write the memos and other things, they can stop her. But then you see all this thing has been taking place for such a long time, and people who wish to commit crime, who wish to break the law, bend the system and do what they wish to do, they brought in things like a law or regulation can be amended or at will. All you need to do is just to call a workshop, a conference, and say that conference at ASCON or NIPS or somewhere, the conference resolve that.
That's ad hoc arrangements.
Yeah, it's ad hoc arrangement.
Now,
most of it is illegal.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, what is the place of nepotism?
Nepotism?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple. Nepotism and cronyism, they go together.
Are they at play? Are they at play as we speak now?
You employ people that you know, whether they are your relations or people that are near to you. You favor something is called nepotism. And if you are sharing the position so that people can function together, you form a team. But you select the team in such a way that the system is abused, it is cronyism. Cronies, somebody that will work with you. This is what is happening around. It is experienced in every government agency. You would see people from time to time, maybe when they change chief executive, he will tell you that, no, he will check the excesses of the staff there. They will check their certificate. They will check their age. They will check one thing or the other. But this thing is done even to confuse the system the more. I will give you an example of a steady rule that is still working. That is the military general order. The general order is there. You have to come up. Even the way you clean your barracks. The time you attack, oh yes, you can't break it. And there is nobody that stops a standard or an ordinary civil servant from obeying the civil service rule. That is the civil service rule of the engine of workers that drive and push what government is.
Now, where are the politicians getting it wrong now? Is it because they have abandoned the structure of the public service?
Well, I would say the politicians are taking advantage of the abandonment. They did not, politicians that are elected in any set, they did not come there to overrule the civil service rule and destroy it. It's the civil servants. You just talk about nepotism, and I also added cronyism there. People break the rules, but then they can't implement it. But I will tell you, there are few civil servants that work with this rule, and that is why even government ministries, departments, and agencies survive the way they are surviving now. It's just like
semblance of survival.
Well, semblance of survival, they are there. At least people are working. I will give you another example with NEPA or electricity services.
Yes.
We have this, we say it is epileptic, it is expenses and other things. There are some dedicated engineers from generation to distribution. If the day they fail to be dedicated, even if there is light, you will not get the light.
Okay, we are talking about...
There are people in the system that actually make the system works.
So we're talking about policing government as panacea for tackling corruption. So if you are to advise the federal government, I don't want to say tinubu because it's part of the federal
government in general.
What do you think he must do or they must do to actually solve this cancer?
Right. One thing we observe is that the idea of fighting many fronts, fighting people in their ministry, fighting people in their profession, fighting people from where they come from, fighting people from maybe their inkling and other things, all these things, you are just fighting battles, fighting corruption in so many battlefields that you cannot win. What you will do, pick out an agency that is charged with restricting people, making people to obey laws and enforce the law, like the police. The colonial government and also First Republic, they maintain things like this. There was a time the crime in the railway was so much, but when train was working, everything, the Nigerian railway, when the crime was so much, so anybody in their own village, they would just cut down a big tree and block the train,
track.
so that then they go into the train and seize people's goods and money. So
that thing happened even in the 60s.
Oh yes, it was happening.
It's not new.
So
what we are seeing now, the vandalism.
To correct it, the government formed the railway police. The same thing happening with abuse of the mines field in Jos. The government formed the mines police. The same thing was happening at the border. The custom would do their work, immigration would do their work and everything. But you have criminals breaking the rules at the border, smuggling and everything. Then the police has border police. Big departments, functional ones, but they don't work now. So what I would suggest in this situation now is because the work and the rules are free for all, everybody will break. So I would even suggest nothing less than the government attaching police to every ministry, department, and agency. A police desk.
But are we going to get the police from heaven?
Well, it's our police. Okay, now I told you that the government is fighting many battles with corruption, so it cannot win. Let the government recreate and enforce the police in such a way that it can now do its work fighting criminals.
Then what do you think government should do to the police to make them different?
Would only concentrate on fixing the kind of police that can fight crime.
In terms of recruitment, in terms of welfare.
It is easier to focus and build the police than to fight crime, fight ministers today, suspend them tomorrow. Some of them could even go to court. If they don't go to court, when election comes, they may harm the ruling party from winning elections where they come from. So if you build a police that can resist everybody, this police also will give guarantee and give background and support any civil servant that is going to do his work. I experience things like this. I am not just out of the blue. I belong to the time now, although I turned 70 last year. I ran through a career over 35 years because my own line of work, I was opportune to retire at the age of 65. That's about 5 years ago. I was an administrative officer. They found me appointment as a research and admin officer, but I started off as an admin officer. I was working by the rules.
Up to the time of your retirement?
Oh, yes. So we were working up to now. There are people that are working by the rules.
Why are the majority not working by the rules?
Because you have the wrong people doing the work. They are either afraid or they are not qualified even to be there.
Or is it the system is not fair to the generality of public
the people
servants?
that are running the system is there, the rules are there. Let's change the people, like where
will you get the substitutes?
You get them. The people, you have good people in this country. Let me tell you, you have good VIOs, you have good road safety, you have good police, you have good military, you have good civil servants, you have good media people.
Now, politicians, most of them spend humongous amount to get to office. How can we make political offices
the government machinery of rules and regulations can be affected in such a way that everybody will behave? Yes. So why don't you just get an agency whose job is to fight crime, strengthen it, concentrate on the police. Today, if you say, I want the police that will catch all the corrupt officials, I'm the police.
But many of the police
with good
with all
computer.
sense of responsibility, Doctor, many of the police will agree to be compromised. Because if the police officer is going home with
you see,
30, 40,000, and then you ask him to go and arrest a corrupt politician who will give him 1 million.
You can ask the police to do the job. You can easily just sit down there and fix it.
Okay,
Any policeman, fix the police. They are very good policemen. Just of recent, the police just following some so-called constitutional, retired a number of officers who are still competent. What makes you think that you cannot bring back these officers to man the government departments?
Can Nigeria...
If they connive with people, their prison term should be double more than the people that committed the crime. There are ways that you must start doing something.
But you don't subscribe to what is happening now?
I don't subscribe to what is happening.
Is it really just a media trial or just brigandage?
It is not a media trial. In fact, I was happy with the way this thing is going on the social media. If you say the social media is bad, social media is ineffective and other things, but the noise it is making now is bringing attention to ministers. They rely on the social media to make names. They rely on the social media to win election. They rely on the social media even to get appointments. Now some people can go into the social media and make these people do their work. Nobody can stop it. If you have access to social media to campaign, nobody stops me from sending in memes, or they call it memetics. You send in just small messages, say policing governance as Panacea for tackling corruption. That is to go with the title of the discussion we are having. Yes, that is enough to trigger thinking and solution in the heads of millions of people. Do it tomorrow, do it next tomorrow, do it again and again and again. People will start challenging other people on how to do their work. This morning I was driving to one of the universities. I am a visitor there, well dressed up, everything, driving with my seatbelt, everything. A road traffic officer was stopping me. He wanted to see my license, but the way he was doing it is like he was forcing me to park. I'm a law-abiding person. I park in there. I look at him. Deliberately, he had a jacket that he blocked his name. The name is not there. So I said to him, what do you want? He said he wants my license. I said, okay. You see, in a situation like this, yes, I have a license, I can't break. I said, in a situation like this, somebody like me, you have to show some kind of niceness, you have to respect me. If you know Dantani was my mate at the War College 20 years ago. I explained to the man. I was talking to him, hoping that the zip will clip up so that I will call him by name. He made effort and hide the name. I gave him the license, but he saw how my eyes are. I'm somebody that would not take nonsense from anybody. So he gave me back my license, and I drove off. I can't drive a car with without license. I can't drive. I can't break the law. Somebody like me, unless if I don't know what I'm doing there, somebody like me, I can't break the law. But you see, like VIOs stopping you on the way. Some of them, they even insult you.
With reckless abandon.
Yes, they insult you. If a VIA insult you, call in the police.
So finally, because we are rounding up,
yes,
are our laws really enough to contain corruption and to actually police the public service?
Our regulations are good enough to contain corruption. Civil service rule, general order for the military is working. Let's make good. Let's get the people that make these regulations work. If you have problem with it, go back to the laws that are supporting them. If the law has problem, go back to constitution. But you will not sit on a table, or maybe one single person will come to the national TV because you have knowledge of the Constitution, being a lawyer, you tell the military how to fight, you tell the police how to arrest, you tell the civil servants what to do, you tell the politicians what to say. So that is very wrong. It's very wrong. Let's go to the instruction. There is no work in this country that does not have guidelines or instruction. Let everybody go back to his own professional instruction and then work it out. You will see a situation where maybe a senator knocking down a small innocent girl in a village. The village VIO, the village DPO can arrest the senator with under 24 hours. He has constitutional.
So what you are saying in summary is that we must go back to
the rules are there. So one thing the media will do, bring in people to tell everybody that as a doctor, you have the right to enforce a rule on health and how people will do, even in your own community. As a VIO, you have the right to impose the idea of people driving cars that are not fit for the road.
And as a small civil servant in the ministry, you have the right to stop the minister from infringing.
If I write a memo now as a civil servant, finally, my secretary would see the memo. If it is wrong there, he is not supposed to correct only the grammar. Tell me that, Oga, you cannot impose this. This is for the PAS. Maybe I am an SAS. This is the way to work. If you work this way, you get self-actualization. Any other way, you steal money. I have never seen anybody that have stolen enough money to be in peace after he finished the work. I have never seen that person.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tanko.
Thank you, Hamza.
Yes, fellow Nigeria War College and the senior fellow, Security and Strategic Studies at NIPS. Lecturer
I retired now.
Yes, retired.
I'm retired from NIPS
and the lecturer at
5 years.
Yes, for coming to the program and for your informed.
Thank you, Hamza. Yes.
Yes, and viewers, that's a wrap on today's engagements, which we hope you found engaging and informative. And be sure to join Daily Politics Live airing every weekday and our special package on Friday, during which we open our telephone line for you to comment on national issues. Once again, thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.